Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark, episode 102. My name is Matt Jarbo, and tonight tragedy has struck Hollywood. Accidental shooting on the set of an Alec Baldwin movie. We're going to be talking about that. The Uncharted trailer finally hits. Red Notice trailer finally hits. And literally some more drama surrounding Ruby Rose. Is she getting support or is she getting thrown under the bus? Well, stick around to find out. All right. Hey, everyone. How you guys doing? Welcome to the show tonight. I appreciate everyone stopping by, as I always do. Today's been a crazy day. It's just been nuts in regards to this news coming out of the Alec Baldwin situation, which we're going to be talking about. The Ruby Rose update stuff, again, is crazy. And again, Uncharted just kind of randomly dropping this morning and it not being terrible. That's my take. You might have a different take, but don't worry. We'll watch it together. I will brave Sony and their draconian copyright ID laws in order to bring you a trailer of a movie that I want to see. But first up, let's talk about the channel members. Giving a shout out here to the IMAX team. You guys like it big. You guys like it bold. You guys like it in your face. Hopefully you're seeing Dune this weekend in IMAX, getting all that sandworm all over your face. I got the matinee or the prime crowd here. You guys are fantastic. The middle members, no one ever gives a lot of love to the middle children, but I'm going to give a lot of love to the middle children, especially, I'm going to say Austin Lean. Lean's a good dude. Check him out. He's got a good podcast. And then we got the matinee members here, the backbone of the fandom here. Appreciate you guys coming on in, supporting the channel. I love you all very much. Thank you guys. And that is going to be my shout outs there. But remember, if you want to get your name on that list, very simple, become a channel member. Very easy to do. A couple button presses, and you're going to get all that nice warm dopamine hit from supporting my very ill-advised lifestyle of chugging energy drinks at middle of the night. And then also you can get your name in the running to win this very nice, very pristine 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray of John Carpenter's The Thing, the scariest film of 1980 dose. But in the meantime, while we wait for people to come on in, let me bring in my guest tonight, my friend, your friend. You know him, you love him, RJ. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? It's been a long time since I've been, actually here for, the proper show, just not coming in and, at the very end.
Yeah, well, because, everyone streams at the same damn time.
I know, it's tough,
It's very tough. It's and I can't fault anybody, because that's just kind of the way that it is. I probably, am gonna start pushing the stream back to 11, just because, tonight, for example, I was out doing food delivery, because I got my car back today, finally. And I'm out doing food delivery, and the last order I got was $12.50 was the delivery order to go from Chipotle at the mall, literally to the country club estate that's next to my house.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. All right, it's fine. That's great. I'm just going to go home afterward. There is really no point of going back out afterward. And so, you get lucky some days where it's like that. I had one day where we have only 2 Red Lobsters in the area. I think there's one Red Lobster in the whole area. And it's a couple towns away. And I got that order and it was $30, just that one order. And it was to take it literally to that same country club estate. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to go home now. This reaches my goal. I'm good. All right. Good night. So that is, there's ups and there's downs on all that stuff. There's ups and there's downs. But it's been, this day, man, has been kind of nuts, with this Alec Baldwin situation, which I do want to wait a couple minutes on.
Strange and dramatic couple of days.
It really has.
The news is going to be oh, not much is going on. And all of a sudden it's oh, a lot of tragedy and drama, allegations of abuse on set. And then you have Uncharted trying to lively up the place,
Oh, well, no, there's a ton of that. And then, there's other drama too, which we won't get into. Mm-hmm. But that's just it's been a very draining day. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because when you sit there and you think about everything, I don't know about you personally, but oh, hold on, I got a cough.
Cough. Yeah, no. To answer the chat, yes, my Snorlax is doing well in bed. Yeah. I want to know
Sorry.
what just a random, very intelligent Drake thinks of Uncharted trailer, by the way.
He says here, it looks like a good time.
Well, there you go.
Whether or not
we got the seal of approval.
There we go. Yeah, whether or not it's a good adaptation remains to be seen. That is very true. My cough is getting better, by the way, but it is still coming and going.
Yeah,
so
I feel you, man. My mom's sick right now too, so
it's
flu season, man. That's what it is. It's like that cold season. I
got the flu shot.
Yeah,
I got the flu shot. I got the vaccine.
I love the fall and winter time. It's my favorite time of the year, but it's also the time I get the most sick, which always upsets me. You know.
Yeah, normally I don't get I don't get sick very often. It's just my kid brought it home from school. That's why. And my girlfriend today.
It wasn't COVID, right?
We're gonna find out. I have to go, and I'm gonna take her in tomorrow to go get tested.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm gonna get tested too. Hopefully I can find a place that's open that will let us go. But and one of the things that cracks me up is it's like they now are like, now it's gonna be if she brings something home, because kids are dirty. Let's be fair. Mm-hmm. Is it gonna be COVID every time? Like, is she gonna be out of school for 2 weeks every time? She brings home a sniffle, and I don't even know.
Sometimes it could be longer than 2 weeks, spend the recovery too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I know they have some at-home tests. I don't know how reliable they are, though.
You can buy one for like $55, I think.
That's a lot of money, though.
No, you get two for $55.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get two for that amount. So I don't know. I don't know. I know Dune came out tonight. I thought about going and seeing that. And
I bought my tickets for Saturday in IMAX, so I'll be waiting for them.
Nice. I don't think I'm going to go see an IMAX. We just have the one here, and I'm probably like, let me check. Let me check and see what their showtimes are. The latest showtime for tomorrow. Okay, they have one tomorrow. Yeah, I can do a 10:15 p.m. IMAX. How much is that though? That's the problem with the IMAX, is like they're so fucking expensive now.
Well, that's the crazy thing, right? My theater, Saturday at 3:30 p.m. they have like 25% off IMAX tickets. So I'm an AMC A-list member. So for like me, my dad, my mom, my brother, it was like $40. Like, it's really, really good deal. That's
actually an extremely good deal, because on this one it's $18.30 to go and see an IMAX movie.
Trying to incentivize people to go, because like it's only like 25% off until like I think like 5 or 6 p.m. So the earlier showings in the day, it's like 25%.
Oh yeah, the matinee prices are always cheaper. Like I like to go before noon whenever I could, just because like that was always like the $6 tickets. And then I mean, look, the thing is, they have sliding scale depending on the time of day you go see a movie. Mm-hmm. Why not apply that the longer a film is in theaters? If you want to extend the longevity of movies, then just like, a movie comes out 2 weeks later, knock off like $3.
Yeah, like
people will see it as a deal.
Price decreases, yeah.
People will go on in. It's just like it's one of those things where I find it to be utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
How the theaters are just like, how they're handling this is not understanding that like people want a good deal, and you have to give them that deal.
Right. Well, I've been impressed actually, because Thursday and Friday night is completely sold out in IMAX. Like like the theaters are completely full. The one on Saturday I'm going to is like 75% full. So people are going to go see this movie, from what I can see locally. So that's interesting. I guess the Fortnite tie-ins really paid off for them.
Oh my god.
That's actually real, by the way. You can play as Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
I have seen. Yeah, I have seen
the clip where they watched their characters and they did like a little interview spiel about the movie for Fortnite.
See, I'll tell you this: that is the kind of cross promotion I utterly fucking despise.
It works though. It works.
It's like when it's
doing if it didn't work, it gets those teenage.
I know. It's like when they had the Emperor, speak in Fortnite.
And that was a plot point, by the way, for the movie.
And it's a plot point, yeah. Yeah, it's like fucking the Emperor in Fortnite is canon. What the hell? Mara Jade, not canon, but the Emperor giving his speech in Fortnite at an event is considered canon. I mean, it's like I just like that, to me, is the most offensive thing about the sequel trilogy. Like, hands down, that is the most offensive thing about that trilogy.
That in the movie itself. you know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't care if you want to have a tie-in event with Fortnite. Fine, whatever. I don't play Fortnite. I'm a PUBG guy myself. I prefer a bit more realistic military battle royale shooters. You know, and also the building is just really kind of weird.
Well, they did the same thing for Venom 2. Carnage is in the Battle Pass, and then they had an Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy skin come out a few weeks ago for like, a promotion thing. So they keep doing... Pretty much, you're not a big movie unless you get a Fortnite crossover at this point. So...
Yeah. Did James Bond go to Fortnite?
No, he didn't.
That's why it only made 35, 40 million, whatever in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well domestically.
Let's see. Well, let's see if they're going to, you know, let's see if they're going to end up pushing it. You know, if this is going to bring if Paul Atreides is going to be bringing in the young girls to go watch Dune.
Hey, Timothée Chalamet has a lot of fangirls, a lot.
So I mean, are all the Spider-Man stands that are like, oh my god, I love Zendaya as MJ, or are they all going to go off and go watch her?
They'll watch her for the 15 minutes of the movie she's actually in.
Yeah, she's
not in it for very long, but
I just can't believe it, man. I can't believe Fortnite has that much power over, you know, like, and well, I will say this though. I guess I will say this as a positive. As much as I don't want Fortnite to have that kind of power, I'm glad it's an American company and not a Chinese company.
Doesn't Epic have shareholders in China though?
Shit. Yeah.
I think Chinese like have a large stake in the company though.
Most likely Tencent does, I think.
I think it is Tencent.
Yeah, goddamn Tencent.
China rules all, man. They control the world.
Well, yeah, you know what? And you know, I mean, and then you might think Squid Game could apply to China here pretty soon too.
Yeah, Squid Game.
Oh man, I was watching a bunch of lore videos on Squid Game today. And you know, I mean, obviously it's all just speculation about what the lore is. You know, like who is the front man? What did this mean and everything else? And I'm like,
it's that theory culture that's hit the show.
You know, I mean, it's not that I'm not even really that big into theory videos. You know, especially not Star Wars theory. Fuck that guy. But it's like I just started watching it and I'm like, yeah, you know, like I'm honest. No, and this is real. I honestly do not understand why a lot of people even like do movie news coverage. And I say that about myself too, because I think about it and I'm like, all right, we talk about what's going on. Mm-hmm. Sure. But like right now, Enosh is live too. And he's doing the exact same thing. You know, and I know that it's a different take and it's a different perspective and everything else. I get all that.
His show structure is very different as well, though, I would say.
And well, the structure is different, but the content is still the same, right? If you watch Film Junkie live, it's the same thing, usually, but with a bit of a DC spin. Because he'll cover something that's DC related.
Right.
You know, you look at Chris, Ping Pong Flicks, right? Chris Juan Swenson. And now he starts off just on a webcam talking about DC stuff, and now he's got like a suit jacket on, and he does a bit of fancier editing.
Yeah, he's gone a little more professional.
Oh, like, yeah. Personality's still missing, but he's getting there. He's getting there. I have nothing against the guy personally. I don't think he's got like the presenter personality, you know?
No, I can understand that. I think some people might say he's a little dry, but you know, I can tell he's a good-hearted guy, though. You know. Yeah.
Well, you know, let's see here. Moisture says HWAD has become light BTR at this point. I mean, I try not to make it that way. It gets there when we start talking politics, because now it's invaded all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard. Movie talks become very much political in some sense.
It has. Parts, yeah. Hold on one second.
But yeah.
Okay.
And I've not read the Dune. I was going to mention I've not read the Dune book, so I've not read the book. I've never seen the David Lynch movie. I have no exposure to Dune as a franchise, so I'm going into this movie completely blind, which is going to be a really interesting perspective, because I feel like it's the way a lot of people are going to go into this movie. So I kind of want to join that same boat. You know?
Well, okay. Here, let's take a look at the Dune Fortnite crossover.
Yeah, I love this. This is so funny.
Oh my god, this is going to be so bad. Let's see how it is. Where's the image? Where's that? Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Timothée Chalamet.
And I'm Zendaya from the upcoming film event, Dune.
We're excited to introduce you to Paul Atreides and Chani, who are traveling all the way from the planet Dune and dropping into Fortnite today.
Oh my god.
Look at that. Look at the glider.
No, the gliders are really cool.
Chani is a powerful Fremen warrior who calls the most dangerous planet in the known universe her home.
And Paul has been trained to be a fighter and leader destined for greatness beyond his wildest dreams. Good luck on the island.
Luck, guys.
I don't know why it's so funny seeing Timothy Look at that, by the way. I love that. That's the loading screen. Giant sandworm coming out.
Oh my. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at that there. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's
just
pretty.
Like the actors, at least. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, it is. I get it.
Trying to make Paul Atreides and Chani like name it like like icons of pop culture. Like it's Paul Atreides, it's Chani.
Yeah, but Drake here's got a great point. It's Arrakis, not Dune. I know. It's like coming in from.
The normies are gonna call it Dune though.
And these are the people you want going to like a very hard sci-fi movie. The normies that are going to sit there for 2.5 hours and be like, oh my God, like it's so dry. What's the name of the planet that they're on? Is it Dune? No, that's the movie.
Listen.
Arrakis? Is that a herpes?
The main play for this movie is HBO Max. They want people to sign up for that service. I'm
Well,
just saying.
I know that's now, right? That's now that they want that. But ultimately it was to get people in the theater to go see it, Yeah, so this movie was made pre-pandemic. And then I love that they're trying to argue now, no guys, we're totally happy that we didn't film the second movie yet. We're totally cool with not having that, shot that as well.
His reasoning makes sense though. I understand the reasoning.
The pressure? Is that what it is? The pressure?
I think it's the pressure and also having enough rest in between so you can recharge your artistic fuel so you can make sure you make a movie just as good, if not better than the first one.
I mean, okay, fine. Listen, okay. Like he's a director that I would be like, all right, fine. But Peter Jackson's done that shit twice. So
yeah, but he hated it.
Well, but he still produced movies that were good.
Yeah,
and he still did.
Peter Jackson. That would be fair.
Oh, that is true. I don't know, man. I'm just like,
hey, you know what though? If this exposes some Fortnite kids to Dune and they really get into it and they read the books and they get into the movies, that's good for them, Expand their minds.
Yeah, sure. Fine. I will. I'll work with you on that.
I'll want to download Fortnite though. I imagine
it doesn't. I have it on my Switch, to be honest with you. But it's the update on it is like 15 gigs, and I just don't have the hard drive space, and I just gotta get a memory card. But I'm also like, why would I download that? I've got, like my Xbox. Anyway, so yeah, Fortnite, Dune crossover, play it this weekend. Can you get a victory royale? I already have with Paul Atreides.
I did. I got a victory with Paul Atreides and Sean.
I've never gotten a victory royale or a winner chicken dinner or whatever the hell it is with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I've never won a battle royale game ever.
Really?
I can get to the top 10 usually pretty well.
Warzone are they're way too much for me. Fortnite's
what?
More manageable. I don't know. It's just too much for me, man.
You're telling me that two military-based simulators that you shoot, all you do is point and shoot, is somehow harder to manage than do you have enough of this particular material to build a staircase and to design a mansion in 30 seconds while you're avoiding.
I get sniped like 500 yards away, like super far away. I don't know where the hell the guy was. At least in Fortnite, I can see my opponent.
Dude, if you got a big enough TV, you can see your opponent in PUBG. It's really good, actually. The draw distance is fantastic. You can see him pretty well. I might give PUBG another try. PUBG has gotten better. It's gotten better. They've done a lot with it.
Yeah, that's the thing with Call of Duty. It's full of campers and tryhards, man.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you one thing I liked about Warzone is Warzone prompted me to realize that Call of Duty should have an open world game.
Yeah.
I think if Call of Duty implemented an actual story that took place on an island or something, or some nation,
So
foreign
basically,
nation.
they should be like Far Cry.
Yeah, at this point, why the hell not? And the fact that Far Cry games, like, their multiplayer is usually pretty crap, which is why they've just stopped doing it.
Yeah,
And
they have the co-op for the campaign at least. Still.
Yeah, the co-op is there, and the co-op is fun. But I mean, their
Have you
multiplayer
gotten
for Far Cry
6, by the way.
No, I was waiting for it to. I'm waiting for it to drop in price.
Okay, it's actually pretty good. I actually
Yeah,
really
that's what I
like Far Cry
hear.
6.
That's what I hear. I'm just not really. I think it's kind of like. I think it's like I'm okay with waiting on it, because like they're gonna fix stuff, and I'm like there's other stuff I want to play.
I get that.
So it's not anywhere. It hasn't been on my list of anything for a while. I also just recently did get and play New Dawn, and I put a lot of time into that, but that goes right back into the Far Cry, the Far Cry cycle,
Well,
the
I've been
loop.
playing some Back for Blood because I was on Game Pass, and that's pretty fun.
Yeah, Back for Blood's pretty good. Yeah, I played that a little bit too. I just would like to see. I agree with Ryan here. Overwatch and Team Fortress 2 are better games compared to Fortnite. Well, you know what though?
Overwatch is probably dead because of Blizzard, though. So
No, Overwatch 2 is still coming. But Team Fortress is
popular though.
dude, again, the standard gamer does not care about any of that shit. I'm not saying that it's not important. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. It does matter.
They're changing McCree's name. It's such bullcrap.
Yeah, and they what was it? One of the guys, the Cannibal Corpse singer, they took his thing out of World of Warcraft 2. Like one of my friends works for Blizzard, and he just got a promotion. And I told them, I said, if they say that they want to put your name in the game, just decline. Don't do it. And he thought that was pretty funny.
Right.
I'm like, just don't do it, man. Don't do it. But all right, let's take a look here
Speaking of unmitigated disasters, like Blizzard.
Well, I don't want to dive right into the unmitigated disaster, but I do want to touch upon this story about Netflix. Did you hear that they're starting to change how they report their numbers?
No, I did not. No.
So this is something that was coming up. I should say how it measures viewers after Squid Game success. And I mean, the thing is, Squid Game, I think we're going to be talking about Squid Game for a very long time because it is that good.
I think that there's a lot of stuff that comes out that becomes cultural milestones in our society. I think Squid Game is going to be one of those like cultural milestones because that was a water cooler moment, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time. I
mean, the fact that SNL did a parody song and it's actually really good. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that one yet?
No, I have not because I don't watch.
Oh, man, I kind of want to play it and like just not worry about getting the content claim.
So hard though.
Yeah, they probably would, but it's a really good track. It's a country song. Okay. It's Pete Davidson singing a country song about like going into the Squid Game. Anyway,
okay.
You should check it out. You should definitely give it a watch. It says here, in Netflix quarterly earnings report, the streamer has confirmed that they are planning to change how they measure viewership, or their viewership data later this year. Instead of the previous 2-minute metric, Netflix will now be shifting to reporting on hours viewed for our titles rather than the number of accounts that choose to watch them. And that's interesting.
I think that's a good change, though.
It is. Yeah, it really is. According to them, this is a slightly better indicator of the overall success. Because it's talking about the movies, TV titles, as well as member satisfaction. Because if you're happy with it, you're going to keep watching it.
Right, because before, if you just say, oh, this many accounts watch the show, well, how many accounts actually finish the show? Did they just watch the first, 5 seconds of the episode and then click off it?
Or the first 2 minutes or whatever. Right, they previously went by, yeah.
This is this is kind of like what Nielsen does. The Nielsen ratings, like how many hours of this were watched. I think it's just a better indicator of, who's watching it and how much,
Yeah. Now it says, in addition, the company revealed they'll be starting to release title metrics more regularly outside of our earnings report, so our members and the industry can better measure success in the streaming world. And see, the thing is, that's fascinating. because they need to do that. I mean, they don't have to do that, but people like numbers, and people argue over numbers all the time. And so, I mean, what Netflix needs to, okay, here's the thing. RJ, you've seen Squid Game. So, like, imagine how it would be if it was week to week versus all at once. Like, imagine the conversation. Yeah. Just imagine the conversation after episode 6.
Oh, dude, that would have been crazy. Part of me wishes that they were week to week.
Well, I know I want that way too. Rational says my voice is buffering. Yeah, I can see it. It's good old StreamYard.
Okay, I thought that was my internet. I didn't want to say something because like
no. It's good old StreamYard. So it's okay. There we go again.
I think it's fine now. So
yeah, it's already done that before.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask you, like, do you think this is solely because of Squid Game and what the numbers they saw for this, or do you think there's like other reasons too?
No, because here, well, okay, so Netflix knows that they're the top dog, but they know also that Disney Plus is on track to beat them out subscriber wise by 2026.
Yeah, plus Amazon's on the rise too.
Amazon and HBO Max actually. And Netflix has competition. Mm-hmm. And it's going to have a lot more. They're going to have to rely a lot more on concise data in order to be able to pick and choose what comes next. Because I think what we're going to see is we're going to start seeing a more curated Netflix versus the pump and dump that we've seen. Because they do that a lot. You can look to see what's coming out on Netflix and go, my God, dude, like Jesus, guys, like just last week I think it was. They had a Night Teeth came out, right? And that's like a new vampire like movie.
Yeah.
No one's talking about it.
Because again, they don't market some of the stuff that they release, and against that pump and dump content strategy that really pisses me off. Like for example, they licensed out this one anime I'm really excited for, but so they decided to like wait weeks because it airs in Japan on TV weekly. So Netflix waited a couple weeks to then release it. Now they're going to release the show weekly. One of the rare times Netflix actually released an anime weekly. But the subtitles came out and they're worse than the fan subs. They don't even translate everything. It's like, come on, Netflix, step up your game, dude.
Yeah, well, that's also the company that they hired for the translation.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, put in more effort, man,
Well, you'd like to think that they're going to do that, RJ, and they should do that because anime is big money.
Yeah,
anime is big. Yeah, it's pretty big cash there.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at like
Yvonne mentioned the name of the anime, Kobe Can't Communicate. It's like, come on, dude, really?
That's the name of the company is Komi Can't Communicate.
No, that's the name of the show. Because the entire point is that it's a girl with social anxiety, so she writes everything out. They don't even translate everything that she writes. Like, how are you supposed to follow the story? It's just, oh my God, I go on a rant about that. It's so bad.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny you say that because like one of the videos I was watching today that was about Squid Game was talking about some of the stuff that's in Korean that's written on the player files, and they point to it and they're like, oh no, this is what it says, and I'm like, oh, how the fuck would I know?
Right, because they don't bother you got to translate that stuff, man. It just upsets me. It's just like if you're gonna like be the exclusive rights owner to something, take care of it, please.
Yeah,
because you're the only official way someone's gonna be able to handle that product without piracy.
Well, Ryan here asks, do you think that Squid Game will still be talked about in 2 months? I think so. I think it could be. I mean, the thing is, things being
Halloween is gonna be crazy. Everyone dressed up as the characters.
Yeah, there's that's for one, you have the players and you've got the guards and the front man, and I think there's going to be a lot of 4, 5, 6s and a lot of player ones, or potentially some 240s. You know what I mean? 67. That was
I was going to ask
Sayok.
you, Matt, real quick. Like, when is the last time you've seen something, whether it be a movie or a show, become a cultural milestone like Squid Games has become? Because I'm trying to remember the last time something like this happened.
It happens every once in a while. Like Suicide Squad is kind of like that.
Oh, first one?
The first one, yeah, because like a lot of people dressed up as Harley Quinn, so you had the fan movement to kind of mimic that character. The movie did a lot more money than people were anticipating.
Yeah,
it had legs longer than people were anticipating.
Yeah,
and it even won an Oscar.
Right. For me, I'd say like I haven't seen this happen to a show since maybe Stranger Things. You know,
Stranger Things is pretty big.
Yeah, I just mean like where it became like everybody watched it, everybody talked about it, everybody dressed up as the characters.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well, and then again, that was.
War, I think Infinity War. I think the conversation around that movie, you know, like everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about the memes and everything. You know. So it's been a while since we had something like this.
Well, I mean, you know, Sifu here is saying Game of Thrones. Ryan here says Twin Peaks. Dude, I wouldn't say Twin Peaks. That's more of a cult thing. I don't think Twin Peaks ever ever really hit
cult following. But it's mainstream.
Like I've never seen Twin Peaks. I know that they brought it back on Showtime, and I was like, I still didn't care to go back and give it a watch.
Oh yeah,
Tiger King.
Yeah, Tiger King.
The Boys would also maybe be another one. I mean, they're definitely, you know, he says yes, it did. I don't think so, dude. I think it's got a cult following. I don't think it's
big. I'm not saying it's not big. It's just I don't know if it's like in the mainstream. You know, you show somebody.
I wouldn't say it's in the mainstream now, but in the late '80s and early '90s when it came out, maybe. But I mean, we're talking more currently, I would say. But whatever the show it was, you know, whatever the show when they did the new stuff a couple years ago, it didn't really go anywhere. But I mean, well, yeah. I mean, but there's also like Walking Dead would maybe be another one.
Queen's Gambit. Donovan's correct.
Queen's Gambit that blew up. I still haven't seen that yet, actually. I hear it's really good, but I just haven't. Like, it didn't really interest me. Something about chess doesn't really interest me that much.
Well, according to the guy who made it, it made chess sexy. So.
Was it really like the chess, or was it Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yes.
Playing chess.
Yes.
You know, the way she really throttled that king.
Yes.
You know, just saying. That's leave it to chess nerds to try to find a way to make it sexy.
Well, Taylor, I'd say in regards to Invincible, kinda, but I don't think it really hit the mainstream until the final episode.
Now also, what was it running against at the time? It was running against Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yep.
So that's the problem with these shows, like running when they run. It really, if there's overlap, it's going to cause a problem.
Invincible got huge, but it wasn't until the finale. Like the finale, everyone was like, "What the hell is this show?" And everyone's like, "Oh, I gotta go back and watch this." And then suddenly it like exploded in popularity. And now, like season 2 is gonna be bigger than season 1 was easily, especially because it's gonna get released weekly, just like Boys season 2.
Yeah. Well, and the way that they're doing it, and I think Amazon's got the right idea for this. Drop the first 3 episodes, and then just do the rest of the season weekly, because at least it gives you the first like chapter of the show, the first couple chapters, the first like arc.
What it's like.
Yeah, it gives you a sense to binge, because you can sit there in one night and you can binge out a show. You can binge out 3 episodes in a night, and feel good about it. Like, okay, I got far enough into the story where I feel good about where I'm at, and then I'm also like feeling excited for what comes next. You know, because the thing with like, if you look at Squid Game could have easily done it. I think it was between episode 5 and 6 when like it's the one it's the tug of war game.
Yeah.
And then like the way that episode ends and it just cuts to black and you're like, what? You know, and then you immediately start the next episode just to see where it's at.
Yeah, I think if they would have done, I think Netflix might be kicking themselves, be like, damn, we should release this weekly, you know? But, you know, they didn't know. They didn't know what they had in their hands.
Yeah.
That's the greatest kind of success, when you don't expect.
Yeah, you got the Drake here says The Mandalorian, Loki. Random Videos here says Money Heist. I've heard good things about Money Heist. I haven't seen it. But, I mean, then again, it's like it had like 5 seasons or something. Like but in coming out in pretty regular supply. So
yeah, some people bring up WandaVision. I think WandaVision was also a cultural.
Oh, that was huge. Oh my God, the Mephisto memes.
Every single week, it was
every week was like, did you see the fly on the wall? Was it Mephisto? You know, did you see this character moved a certain way? You know, Mephisto did that in a comic book once.
Yeah, I would argue that none of the other Disney Plus shows, except maybe Loki, matched that. You know, in terms of like every week, it's like something to discuss.
No, What If kind of came and went, to be honest with you. But,
yeah, which is a shame because it was solid. It was a solid.
It was solid, but I'll tell you though, why I think What If came and went. I think it's because it wasn't tied into the overall universe,
not yet.
Not yet, and that's the thing. Marvel fans Marvel fans, if they want something that is tied into the current timeline, so they feel it's another chapter in that timeline, because that's what's been presented to the audience. We got HWAD here with $5. Thank you, buddy. Says never watch dubs. Also, if you like this, Parasite is also good. I do have Parasite. I was given a digital copy of it.
You gotta watch it, man.
I gotta watch it.
It's fascinating because I watched Parasite back when it first came out, and the parallels between what that movie established and how Squid Game kind of took the ideas and set up and ran with it in a different direction, more of like a genre show like that, is so fascinating. I think it's so fascinating how the biggest stuff out of South Korea are both anti-capitalist themed projects. Like one's a movie, one is a show. Although according to Tim Pool, it's anti-communist, so I don't know.
I know. I heard that, and I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that one. He blocked me on Twitter on January 6th, so... I'm sure
that's a strange date to pick.
It was a very specific conversation that I sent him. I've known Tim Pool for years, and I sent him a very sternly worded DM, kind of putting the blame for January 6th on him, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I stand by my thoughts on that too. Anyway, Jess here for $5 money. Thank you. Says my sister asks what I watched or have watched on a streaming service, and then she binges the episodes to catch up to me. Well, that's good, man. That's definitely good. I mean, like, I have friends who I do that with as well, but I think it's like part of the cultural zeitgeist is what we're talking about here. And you're going to have like, those kind of moments are going to have to come around again in order to like, I think Game of Thrones was a big one. Yeah. And the thing is, they're going to have to find ways to bring those TV shows into theaters. Like I said this before, like the season opener of Game of Thrones should have been presented in IMAX. It should have been presented in theaters, like a Fathom event.
Well, they tried doing that with the Inhumans show, but that didn't work out.
Oh, that was, I mean, like, yeah. No, and Netflix paid a hefty price for that too, by the way. I think it was like $70 million. They paid a lot of... Yeah, sorry. No, sorry. IMAX, not Netflix.
Oh,
IMAX.
Yeah. I was about to
My
say
bad. I was wrong. No, they paid a lot of money for those first 2 episodes to go in there. And you know what the thing is?
Why pay that much?
Because at the time, this is 2017. This is before Thor Ragnarok. This is coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The MCU is still rolling real high, real strong. And the TV shows, like they're like, this is Ike Pullman or Jeff Loeb. Like, we got to try to like really hit the ground running with this limited series, because they took it away from freaking Kevin Feige.
And sadly, they probably killed those characters cinematically and in comics forever, which I will never forgive them for. It's such a shame. Because they could be... Inhumans should be Marvel's Game of Thrones. That's what it should be if they handle it right, but they screwed it up badly, so...
I just remember they shaved that chick's head.
Because they didn't want to pay for the effects to do her powers with the hair. I was so fucking mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, now they're probably changing Miss Marvel's origin, so you'll probably never see the Inhumans in the MCU. So, it's a shame.
Well, they have X-Men.
But that's the thing, Matt. The Inhumans and the X-Men were never the same. People gotta stop.
But to the average audience, they're going to be the same.
I know, but they're from the moon.
Come on. Yeah, but I mean, but is Kamala Khan from the moon?
No, what happened was that there was like a terrorist attack, kinda, and there's like all of New York City, like an area of New York City got hit with it, and people got exposed. They had the Inhumans gene inside their bodies, and that's how she got her powers.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah.
You played the Avengers game. You kind of saw it.
Yeah. They did it a little bit differently in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. But yeah, no, I get that. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Well, there's a rumor that she's gonna be like a genie, which I'm like, that's not gonna be racially insensitive whatsoever. Good job, Marvel.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
I'm very nervous, Matt. I think Miss Marvel.
Well, I think what I'm waiting for is the fact that like the actress is like Christian.
Is she?
Or something? It's like there's something where it's like she's either she doesn't have the right background, or like her best friend in the comic is played by like someone who is also not the right background.
I think it's the friend. I heard the friend character wasn't the right background, which I know.
I mean, it's again, people want like this hardcore You know, they want direct representation rather than like.
Yeah, I don't even care about that, Matt. What I care about is why even adapt the character if you're not going to do the character that people love from the comics and the animation of the video games. Why even bother if you're going to do a bastardized version of it?
Sometimes, I mean, you know, I don't know, man. They gotta.
I would just love to talk to Kevin Feige because I feel like this is going to be like the one time he messes up, which is very rare for him. But I feel like this Miss Marvel show, the way they're changing the powers, I'm just like, this is a bad idea. Because the powers directly tie into her origin, like her entire storyline. You know, but.
Yeah. I don't know.
What it is.
I think once we get to that, like, we'll have to wait to see what they're going to say at this point. So why don't we talk about something more tragic than Kevin Feige screwing up? No, that's very insensitive for me to say, but this is a very big tragedy, very real tragedy. Yeah. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins dies at 42 after a prop gun incident on an Alec Baldwin film.
Yeah, this is just absolutely heartbreaking to hear. I'm just when I saw this, I saw Alec Baldwin training. I'm like, oh no, what happened? And I look at it, it says like the very sensational headline saying he shot and killed someone. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think it was real at all. I was like, I'm you know, out doing deliveries and I'm checking Twitter and I'm just like, this can't be real. The
director's also been hospitalized.
Yeah, that's very true. So here's what it says. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins, who worked on a number of indie productions, including Arch Enemy, Blind Fire, and The Mad Hatter, died from her injuries Thursday after she was shot by a prop gun discharged by actor Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust. She was 42. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department confirmed that the prop gun incident happened on set. Hutchins was flown by helicopter to the University of New Mexico, where she was pronounced dead. On Twitter, Arch Enemy director Adam Egypt Mortimer wrote, "I'm so sad about losing Helena and so infuriated that this could happen on a set. She was a brilliant talent who was absolutely committed to art and film." So,
well,
I don't know if this is...
Matt, like, I'm not experienced in, like, filmmaking and how stuff like this happens. Why? How can I'm not familiar with the Brandon Lee thing at all, but people are making a lot of comparisons.
Oh,
How does a prop gun kill someone?
So, okay, so there's a couple ways it could happen. It's, you know, there's the obvious conspiracy theory of they replaced it with a real gun. I have heard that a lot, even with the Brandon Lee stuff. When it comes to a blank, there is still gunpowder that's in there, right? But it's filled with like a cotton swab. You're supposed to clean out the guns after every use. I think in the case of Brandon Lee, there was something that got lodged in the barrel. So when they shot it, it came out like a projectile and killed him. That could be a very similar case here.
Someone not doing their job, basically. Yeah,
but in this case also, it appears that Alec Baldwin may be guilty of negligent homicide. But we'll get to that here in a second. When I worked on a short film that I wrote a number of years ago, and I wrote it where the characters had guns. We were going to use prop guns, but we couldn't get anything that looked realistic enough. So the director called his roommate, who had real guns, and brought real pistols to the set. And I was not necessarily on board with that.
Right, because you don't know if it's loaded or not. It's like it's too big a risk.
Yeah, I inspected the guns. I inspected we stood around, and dismantled them and made sure no ammo. But at this, you're still, you're still concerned because we did this and we should not have done that, but we did do it. And so, but on a set like this where there's unions and there's prop departments and everything else, there are people that are going to be responsible for this. So,
right. I guess the question is, because Alec Baldwin is the one trending, I mean, how culpable is he truly? Because I can't imagine how he felt. Because, like, one of the articles I read said that when the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office to talk to him, he was just bawling. Like, he was just crying so profusely. He was very upset and shaken up by it. And I can't imagine how it feels to, like, you fire a gun knowing it's just a prop. Ends up killing your cinematographer and almost killing your director. Again,
there's a particular... Let's go through the article. because I saw something. I don't know if they mention it here. They might, but it's possible that we might have an answer on that. So it says a prop firearm was discharged by Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust, killing a cinematographer and wounding the director. The director of photography, as we discussed, Hala Hutchins, died Thursday after being injured when the prop gun was discharged by Baldwin, according to the film's producer and star. A spokesperson for Rust said in a statement, "The entire cast and crew has been absolutely devastated by today's tragedy, and we send our deepest condolences to Hal and his family and loved ones. We have halted production on the film for an undetermined period of time and are fully cooperating." I'm just trying to see. Okay. So according to the investigators, it appears that the scene being filmed involved the use of a prop firearm when it was discharged. Detectives are investigating how and what type of projectile was discharged. A spokesperson for the production said that the accident involved a misfire of a prop gun with blanks. Okay. So, all right. So what I had read in another article, and again, I don't know if this was true, is that they were saying that it was Alec Baldwin was going on a rant about Donald Trump. And that's when the gun went off. Now, and this is according to, well, it's a Fox article. Let me see if I can find it. It's a screenshot. It's a screenshot from there. Okay, let's see. Fox News 6 hours ago. I'm just trying to see if I don't know if they added it in there or not.
That's what I'm wondering, because it's some stuff can get falsified on the internet very easily, especially on Twitter, where it's like.
Well, this is on 4chan.
Oh, it's not.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to
It sounds
scan.
like someone just being like making a sick joke, though. To be honest, if it's coming from 4chan, like, haha, you played Donald Trump. He was probably ranting about it when the gun went off.
Yeah. Well, okay, not that article. Yeah, it's possible that was fake. It's possible that was. Yeah. Okay, I'm not seeing it in the other article either. Okay, so thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God, because I was like,
that was the case. That would have been terrible.
I mean, if he was holding the gun and he was ranting about this, it does appear this is a 4chan joke. So, okay. Because I'm looking at it right now and it's like, I can't find a link and everything else.
Yeah.
So obviously, yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because that would be indefensible at that point. If you are on set and you're waving a firearm around and you're bitching about the former president and it goes off and it kills a woman,
or if
there's no defense to
in
that.
any regard, yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless if he's talking about Trump, if he's messing around with a gun, playing with it, it doesn't seem like that right now. Again, we don't have all the details, but yeah. I mean, this is just horrible all around. I'm shocked that something still happens like this in the wake of Brandon Lee. I thought the industry really would have worked on this.
Well, it's not that I got suckered by 4chan. It's just that I read it, and you know how it is when you're in a hurry, and you're like, "Wow, that's..."
Yeah, sometimes stuff circulates.
But I also didn't run out and report that was accurate. I'm all like, I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. So it's not that I got suckered. It's like, I don't want it to be real, regardless.
Right.
Because that's like, that's so irresponsible and so terrible. You just don't want that to be real at all.
Yeah. I again, there's just so many questions, obviously, about what happened and who's responsible, who didn't do their job, and like how did this happen. Again, I can't imagine how Alec Baldwin feels, man. Like, imagine, like, again, you're just an actor trying to do your job. You use a prop on the set, you fire it the way you're supposed to, and then you end up killing somebody. He's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life, and God, and like the family of that poor cinematographer, I mean, too, they're going to have to deal with the loss of their family member, and we have to wait and see how the director recovers as well. So
yeah, I would argue that the likelihood of the movie continuing is probably pretty low.
Yeah, you don't think they would try and finish it out of respect of her work, which is say like, okay, this is
I mean, dude, if your main actor fired the gun that killed her, it's not like it's gonna be. It's not like it's going to be like, a little, easy for him. He's going to need therapy.
Yeah.
He's going to need a lot of therapy to like kind of come over. So I don't know when they're going to want to you know, I mean, look, Baldwin is a professional, so he might come back.
Do you think that he could be in trouble at all?
If it comes across that there was the gun barrel wasn't cleaned, which is what Drake is saying that it's possible. He also says here that I don't think there's any case for negligent homicide here because there was no way for anyone to even imagine that would happen, which is true. It's going to come across.
It's more so the people who are in charge of cleaning the guns. Or
Yeah, so that's going to be the bigger thing. That's going to be the bigger thing is where you have a lot of people.
I saw some people in the chat too. I mean, do you think Alec Baldwin may walk away from this movie or walk away from acting as a result of this?
I think he might walk away from acting. Yeah, I do. Dude, I mean, would you go back? He just had a kid. Like, he just had a kid not that long ago. And so it's like, you know, I mean, he accidentally killed the cinematographer and injured the director. We don't even know how the hell that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering how that happened as well, because, like, depending on how the scene was shot, were they behind him? Were they in front of him? Like, how exactly did the prop gun go off in a way that it would strike two people?
I don't know. We'll find out more. We'll definitely find out more as we get closer, as the investigation continues. But if this is one, you know, Donovan here says production might be shelved indefinitely. Yeah, maybe, maybe. And then, but there was also, Andrew here says John Landis is still directing films. Yeah. And John Landis did, there was 3 people killed on the set of that Twilight Zone movie.
Including children.
Yeah. 2 children. And I forget the actor's name. Wasn't the actor beheaded?
Yeah, he was. He was beheaded.
Yeah. I mean, and that movie still came out. There was the woman, I think she was a PA who got hit by a train a while back, or camera operator that got hit by a train. I forget her name. Mm-hmm. They finished the movie. I mean, I don't know. I think because it's above the line people, it may be a bit harder to do.
Oh, Vic Morrow. Vic Morrow was the actor who died in Twilight.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
God, man. Even still hearing the Twilight Zone thing about what happened with that, like the helicopter crash, it's still, God, I can't even imagine, man.
Oh, yeah. HRS here says, I thought the Crow incident solved these problems. I mean, look, I don't have the story. The full story. All I can say is accidents do happen. I mean, look at the female stunt driver that was on Deadpool 2. She was a stunt bike, or she was a racer doing stunt work, crashed on a take, killed her and died, So it's like, it was an accident. These things happen. Now what's going to happen is the family is going to file, they're going to sue the production company, and they're probably going to sue Alec Baldwin, and that's going to happen. So, that's and then they're probably going to go back and look at how guns are looked at on these how they're portrayed on these whole things. So, I mean, as they gear up for John Wick 2 or John Wick 4, sorry, it's like, watch, they're gonna be like, well, due to the recent accidental shooting on the Alec Baldwin movie, Lionsgate has decided that all guns will be digital in the upcoming John Wick movie.
Yeah, it seems like oh, that can never happen, but like, seriously, this is serious. This could really change how sets are operated and how firearms, even prop guns and blanks, are used in the future. Something like this kind of tragedy could really change the industry. Maybe it does need to change in some regards.
Yeah, I mean, I know
stunt performers have been hurt too.
Oh yeah, they get hurt all the time. I mean, Rational here says, why not just use the muzzle effect? Well, what it is there's got to be realism, right? There's a, it's like, if I take a gun and I point it in a movie and I pull the trigger and nothing happens, what's it going to look like? Am I going to go pew, 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 right? When you're going for this kind of thing, there's going to be realism from the weight of the gun. There's going to be realism from the kick of the bullet, fire, pulling the trigger, the gunpowder being ignited, the gun kicking back. You're not going to be able to fake that with CGI. So it's kind of like, Yvonne here says, like ET radios instead of guns, which Spielberg has since regretted that decision.
Understandable as to why.
Oh God, it's terrible. I think Lucas talked him into it too. Stupid Lucas.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
So again, condolences go out to the family of the cinematographer and of course the director.
Yeah, hopefully the director makes a full recovery and he's okay.
Yeah. And Alec Baldwin too, because it appears to be a massive accident, and that's gonna fuck with him. That's gonna haunt the guy. That really is gonna haunt the guy. So I hope just
a horrible situation all around.
It is all the way around, and I wish everyone the best, whatever that even means. I don't even know anymore how to say thoughts and prayers is pointless, but
it's also cliche. It's like
it's cliche as all hell. Yeah, I know. Anyway, why don't we move on to something that's less tragic, but you know what? Maybe eye-opening a little bit more. So, yesterday you had the Ruby Rose stuff come out, and a lot of people were talking about Ruby Rose and her statements on Instagram, and a lot of the Suck It Warner Brothers crowd were hashtag I stand with Ruby Rose, because Ray Fisher was out there saying that
he voices support for Ruby.
Which I expected him to do entirely. But of course, now we're starting to see there being a little bit of a response to this, as you figure there would be. One of the people that Ruby Rose called out was Dougray Scott. And Dougray Scott has been an actor for a long time. And he actually responded. And this is something that, he denies. Entirely made up accusations that he abused women. He says, I absolutely and completely refute the defamatory and damaging claims made against me by her. Warner Brothers did, come out with their statement yesterday. And they said here, as Warner Brothers Television has stated, they decided to not exercise the option to engage Ruby for season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about her workplace behavior. Oh, this is from Dougray Scott. Sorry. I absolutely and completely refute the defamatory and damaging claims made against me by her. They are entirely made up and never happened. And I mean, like she said here that he hurt a female stunt double. He yelled like a little bitch at women and was a nightmare. He left when he wanted and arrived when he wanted. He abused women, and in turn, as the lead of a show, I sent an email asking for a no yelling policy and they declined. So it just doesn't so it's very much he says, she says. All right.
Yeah, it's very murky at this point. Initially, it's like I said on my own stream, it's like if this is true, then it's terrible what happened to her. If it's not true, then it makes her even look worse. I think the truth is likely as it always is, probably somewhere in the middle. I think there was definitely something that happened to Ruby Rose, but I think also too, she might have been very much a not really a diva. What's right? She might have been very stern or very difficult to work with in some aspects, being very aggressive towards other cast members. But if she felt like she's been put in a dangerous position, maybe that's why she was so aggressive and perhaps mean-spirited.
Yeah, no, that's entirely a possibility. But we do have another person who gives their take, and it's not an above-the-line individual. It's a crew member. And this guy calls Ruby Rose a dictator. So, and this is his name is, what's his name here? Alexander J. Baxter, who worked on season 1 of the Arrowverse series. Now, the reason why this is important is this guy's putting his name to it, right?
Yeah, it's not like his name on the line. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an unnamed, source. It's not like, a person who does not want to be named for fear of reprisal from Ruby Rose. He's laying it out there, and this is what he says. So basically, he wanted to work in the industry for his entire life. He was lucky to work on Sabrina, Supergirl, and stuff here and there. But the highlight of his entry was Batwoman season 1, saying he was an actor aspiring to know more about the film industry, and when the job came up, I was excited. Being a DC fan and a huge fan of Warner Brothers, I jumped at the opportunity. My philosophy was that I could learn as much as I could on set and then go on to do my own films. Little did I know of the hell that await me on those sets. The production company was professional, dialed in, and in every way fantastic. The crew was lovely, hardworking, and dedicated to countless night shoots. It sounded to be an amazing experience in the making. Then came Ruby Rose. From day one, where her supposed injury stopped her from doing 60% of her job, she began her first day on the show not acknowledging a single crew member besides anyone above the line. And as the days stretched on, the 18-hour Saturdays for some of us in the crew, things got worse. She showed up late most days, didn't have her lines memorized, and whenever she interacted with anybody below the line, production assistants, Alec's crew grips, it was as though we were beneath her boots. She stormed off set, she yelled at people, and whenever she interacted with any of us production assistants, we were disregarded as trash we picked up. One day at the studio, we spent the entire morning setting up her requested green room, 6 heaters because she was used to the Australian hot weather, and her table of snacks, only to have her show up, giggle, walk away, and say she is good. We chalked it up to another Ruby is just giving orders for the sake of giving orders moment, and moved on. Then I was holding the door open for her after having worked over 15 hours at that point in the freezing cold weather. She came billowing through the door and spilt her food. She looked at it, then at me, and said, well, and then stormed off and left me to clean up her mess. That is what it felt like working beneath Ruby, cleaning up her mess. She never thanked us. She only made demands that left us all exhausted emotionally and physically. I mean, and it goes on here too. Says here that
dictator comment.
Yeah, she was a dictator to work for. And having been nothing but a production assistant eager to get into the industry, she made me consider quitting. If this was the industry I was going to get into, I sure as hell wasn't going to work for entitled tyrants. Living downtown, I met one of her close friends on a dating app, and he shared with me stories of them partying and getting high on all assortments of drugs. And funnily enough, the days where she showed up 8 hours late to set were the days he spoke about. She didn't care about how long we waited for her, and she made sure everything was perfect and ready. She just cared about her personal party lifestyle. We worked countless long days, as always, going into overtime because she was either late or not off book or some other reason relating to her not wanting to be there. From the moment we started the show, she made every new person that came on uneasy and unsupported. She was a horrible star and made us feel like we were helping make a show for a dictator. Filmmakers, no matter what position they are on a film set, deserve to be treated with respect. That's how I was taught growing up and in film school. And when I read her article claiming that production was at fault, it infuriated me because having been there, I don't want to stand by and let her badmouth a company that she tried to screw over. No matter how bad your day, you have no right to be cruel, and season 1 was her reign of cruelty.
Wow, that's the first time I'm hearing any of this, like going through this article. What this person's describing is pretty bad as well. And
it's not out of the ordinary. So
no, some actors and actresses are straight up dickheads.
Yeah,
you know?
Have you ever hear of an actor named D.B. Sweeney?
Sounds familiar.
He was on X-Files and a movie called The Cutting Edge. He's been around for a while. And I was actually like a really big fan of his growing up. And I worked with him for a couple days on a short film, it's a web series in 2009. And on like the last day, he was like getting into it with the director. And like the director was a former Navy SEAL. And so like, physically, like you don't really want to fuck with this guy.
Right.
But they were getting into it, and like he kept storming off and going back to his green room, and he's like, I'll be here when you need me. Let me know when you need me. I'm going to go take a nap. Because he wasn't needed for a while. So I don't want it to make it seem like he just left us all hanging. Right, his scenes weren't for a while. So there was time. But he was like not happy with the production, and he wanted to voice his concern and his opinion. And it was a little uncomfortable. Because you're like, oh shit, there's DB, and what's going on over there? Oh, they're fighting again. Okay, great. So that is something to consider in these situations, is that like these actors will get edgy and they will get testy. And when you're talking about these 18-hour days, by the way, which is a massive reason why IATSE is currently looking at striking, because 18 hours is a long time to ask anyone to work. You know, and that is a lot of what goes into these things.
No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, it's interesting because, again, I want to see the full picture. It's interesting that more stories are coming out against Ruby Rose as well. I'll be curious to see if there's any stories that maybe support what she's saying as well from other people. So far,
Sure.
It seems like it's mostly pushback as well. But
yeah, and the guy who played Batwing is...
yeah, he kind of came out and said, hey, this isn't true. Although some people were saying that because he's a company man and that he's still working with the company, he's not going to want to badmouth them. But I don't know.
I mean, like, you know, I'm not saying it's perfect. There's clearly a fair amount of issues that go on and everything. And there's a lot of people who, you know, who probably just need to like chill the fuck out a little bit. I think, you know, it's just, that's how I view it at least. Yeah,
it's a complicated situation.
But I think Ruby just had a bad experience, and I don't think she was built for doing a show.
Yeah. Again, like many things in life, I think the truth is somewhere right in the middle. You know, I think there's some stuff that Ruby's saying that I think is absolutely true, and some things that need to get resolved. But I also think there's some things that possibly happened with some things that some of her bad behavior that maybe had an adverse effect on the way the cast and crew treated her. You know, maybe all around it was just a terrible, toxic work environment for everybody. You know,
probably. And but then again, ever since the new actress, right? Javicia, is that her name? I can never pronounce it.
I have no clue. I don't watch Batwoman. I just know that you're talking about the new actress, right?
Yeah.
All I know is that she's very pretty. That's it.
Yes.
I don't know how to say her name, but she's gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So people have sent me her Instagram photos before. She'll just like drop a photo and you're like, it's so warm. I'm so thirsty. I get that.
Water.
Yeah, I get that. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Listen. She likes the role and she's apparently doing well in it. And I think what it is though, because they wanted Kate Kane to be to be lesbian and to have that be a big part of the character, which it is part of the character.
It is. It's crucial. You cannot have Kate Kane without the lesbian.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Ruby Rose thought that she was just like she just thought her shit didn't stink. Is what I'm thinking. And I think that's what kind of bit her in the ass, to be honest with you. So, and I don't care. I don't watch the show, so I don't have anything really invested into it.
Yeah, I'm not invested in this either. I'm just saying that if an actor is being mistreated or a cast member is being mistreated, then that's not okay, and there needs to be changes. You know, I said if the Ruby Rose thing is true and a lot of what she said is true, then there needs to be big changes at Warner Brothers as a whole. You know. Especially Warner Brothers TV. Because, again, you see the way that, I don't know if you mentioned this when you were covering it, it's like KJ Apa, the actor that plays Archie on Riverdale, he got into a car crash a number of years ago and almost died because they refused to give him transportation. Right? You have stories about the other actors, too, that, you can just tell that they're very much, over being a part of the CW shows. They're just ready to move on. You know, I'm sure they have some bad stories as well. So...
Well, I think a lot of it too is the CW shows are known for notoriously low budgets. And that might mean that they end up just cranking crap out.
Well, they're also such long shoots as well. What do you say? It's like eight days?
On average, it's an 8 days to do a 45-minute show.
And they're shooting it while they're still promoting the show as the season airs. So it's it's a lot of work to be part of these shows.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
It's no, it really is. It absolutely is. And I think one of the things with that too is not everyone's built for that. It's to be honest with you, as much as I'd love to go work on a movie, man, I could not do. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I don't think I could do television like that. I mean, if I because I've actually honestly gotten into the conversation with my girlfriend about she's like, well, do you ever want to move? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'd like to go back to California, but we've talked about going to Canada and like going to British Columbia. And I'm like, well, there's a pretty decent film scene there, and I could probably get some work as a background actor, and like that's work, but you're hanging out a lot to do that stuff. Like it's kind of a cattle call, from what I remember. And they put you in like, you kind of go to this back room and you just kind of wait all day if they need you. And that's it, like it's, but it's like, it's a lot of moving pieces and parts for these particular shows and these movies to do all this kind of stuff.
Well, did you see on Reddit or somewhere, there's like some screenshots going around with someone who claims to be someone who works on Titans talking about how badly the actors are treating the cast and crew? Like they're working on Titans, the DC shows, like very toxic.
How they're treating
crew members. Like apparently like they're saying that the actors are divas themselves and they're not treating the work, like it's very toxic work environment working on that Titan show.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw that there's like some, I don't know how valid it is. I just saw some screenshots going around, like people were sharing them talking about saying, is this any true? I mean, it's from Reddit, anyone can say they work on a show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would hope that that's not the case, because that's pretty fucked up,
Yeah, they're saying that like the actress that plays Raven's a diva and that her mother's a control freak when it comes to her. And they talked about like Brendan Thwaites potentially doing some stuff. Like all the actors apparently, all of them pretty much are shitheads. So I don't know.
Well,
I just saw that, so
there's yeah, I mean, like again, there are a lot of bad people that people that get into movie making, and a lot of it boils down to just it with if you've already got a shitty ass ego, power will just amplify that shitty ass ego.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so it's like that's a big part of it. But there are great people. I've mentioned before, I've worked with Doug Jones, and on that same web series, by the way, with DB Sweeney, I worked with Doug Jones. Doug, sweetest guy, sweetest guy. So it's not everybody is like that, but it and again, not everyone has a great day, and these stories sometimes they get exaggerated and they tend to live on, and so it just kind of paints this picture, and it's kind of unfair to hold people to the standards all the time, because I haven't heard anything out of Ruby Rose before that. I mean, I know she's been like thrown out of a bar for getting into it with a bartender and stuff, but I mean, other than that, I haven't heard much. I don't know how it was for her on Orange is the New Black or anything else. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this. With any luck, as I think Casper here says, Vancouver is a very expensive city. He will not be able to live well as a background actor. No, but I still make money doing YouTube, and the American dollar does go a little further in Canada. So,
yeah,
just saying. Anyway, why don't we kind of get into the
more positive news.
The positive thing, and it's also the last story of the night that I would talk about, and that of course is the Uncharted trailer. I figure we'll give it a watch because I want to watch it again, and then we'll give our thoughts on it, because I think you and I are probably going to differ, and that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have a very interesting take from everyone else.
Yeah, and it's not going to be based around we have a mutual love of the franchise. So
I've played these games like numerous times. Like I played the trilogy each time like 5 times each.
Yeah,
like I play them all the time. So
the very first PlayStation 3 game I owned was Uncharted 2, and I bought it 2 weeks before I got a PlayStation 3. So, oh yeah, big fan. And then I was at Penny Arcade Expo in 2007, and I played Uncharted there too, which is what got me.
I was such a big fan of Uncharted. I bought the PlayStation 4 console, like when they had the bundle with Nathan Drake, the blue one. I had that. I got the collector's edition and the steelbook. Like I love Uncharted. Like that's my favorite gaming franchise probably of all time, next to like Mass Effect and stuff. So
yeah, I love it.
I play these games. I know these games in and out. I played them so many times.
So yeah, you and I are both pretty big fans, so that's gonna be pretty good. All right, so let's check this out.
There are places out there you can't find on any map. They're not gone. They're just lost.
Hey, kid. A little young for a bartender, aren't you?
A little old for prom, aren't you?
Everything in here. Why the map?
This path Ferdinand Magellan took to sail around the world.
You know your history.
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
5 billion, easy. I think you're here because of your brother.
Well, you know my brother Sam?
If we find that gold, we find him too.
Who the hell is this?
I'm a friend of Sully's.
Sully doesn't have any friends. I should know him one of them.
You are a collector.
Well, I dabble.
I don't dabble. My family has been looking for this fortune for a very long time. So much blood.
I'm pretty sure he's just threatened to kill me.
But don't touch your ear like that. You look like an idiot.
You have no idea who you partnered with.
I've been dreaming about this stuff since I was a kid. My brother Sam left one final clue.
God, I
love this. I love this.
I mean, the fact that they're doing the Uncharted 3 plane sequence is just nuts.
Guess I'll keep on living.
Oh my God!
Shouldn't have come out to play with the big boys, Ian, because you're about to get a proper Scottish welcome.
What?
Oh, crap!
Comes out February, right?
Yeah, it comes out right
Also,
after.
Look what they're promoting right at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
This is on the play, like the remaster of Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy for PS5 and PC.
Oh, okay.
And there's Greece.
Yeah. Well. I look either way. I really, I really like
this trailer. It's not that bad.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I will say, I'm very concerned about Mark Wahlberg because to me, I'm not seeing Sully. I'm not seeing Victor Sullivan. There's a lack of warmth. Sully's supposed to be like the hard ass with the heart of gold. I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing Mark Wahlberg.
Well, that's the thing, man. Is we're gonna have to like, okay. I think Drake.
Mustache too.
He needs the mustache. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet the mustache is going to come at the end of the film? All right.
Very end, probably.
Very end. Now Drake here says the writing for Nathan and Sully's dialogue is on point. It's just different voices and appearances that will take getting used to. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
But here's the thing: I'm not looking at this like, oh, they're adapting the 3 games or the 4 games now. It's a prequel.
It's a prequel, but yeah. I mean, like, okay. I know. Hold on here. Drake says here, I'm not sure how I feel about reusing set pieces from games that they're not even adapting, but it's still cool. Okay, so I remember Resident Evil Apocalypse, the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do you remember the scene where they ripped off the opening cinematic for Code Veronica?
Yes, I do. Yeah, they took a lot of elements from 3 as well.
Yeah, they did. But it's like when Claire Redfield in the opening cinematic for Code Veronica like is surrounded by guards, and she drops a gun and it slows down, and then she opens up some shots and takes them all out with the explosion. And they did it in the movie. I was like super hyped. And then also like when they showed her running, Alice running in the helicopter opening fire, again pulled right from that Code Veronica opening credits. It definitely like all right, cool, they're doing it. Even though we're not getting Code Veronica.
Member berries for the gamers.
Yeah, I mean, and look, and they're doing it from Uncharted 3. All right, like if it was like the crash train from Uncharted 2, I'd be like, okay. But it's like, and it's not the submarine from Uncharted 1. I mean, because the thing is with this one, you can tell that it's a prequel, which is fine.
Yeah, the biggest surprise though, I had no clue Chloe was in this movie. That made me actually very happy. I'm like, wait, Chloe Frazier's going to be in this movie?
I did not know Chloe Frazier was going to be in it.
And they're going to explain how they first met. She's the love interest. I'm like,
yeah. Yes. And remember, because they had sex before he hooked up with Elena. Mm-hmm. So, like they had a relationship and whatnot. And then we see the ring, right? We see the Drake ring. So obviously that's good.
Though, they're setting up the brother angle. Because remember, kind of like Sam kind of shows up in 4. It's like, oh, he's been there the whole time. We just didn't know about him. right? At least now they're integrating him more into the story, where it's like maybe there's like that connection where like him and Sully are trying to figure out more about him. Where it's like what was my brother doing? What was he looking into? You know,
yeah,
it seems like
and then where is he at?
Yeah,
you know, I mean, like they're probably going to introduce him then into number 2, but I just would feel like don't do Drake's Fortune and bring Sam into Drake's Fortune, but they would probably do that as a way to be like a love triangle between like him and Elena.
Please no.
But
I thought they said that this movie is meant to like connect to the games though. It's supposed to be
in
the same universe.
Is it?
I could have sworn they said
that. I honestly I don't know. I have not paid that close attention to like.
I could have sworn they said that the reason they chose it to be a prequel is because they want to do their own little adventure that could live alongside the games. I
mean, yeah, and I get it. Also, did you see like this is PlayStation Productions that's behind it, so it's not like
it's their very first movie, by the way.
Yeah, so it's not like it's going to be, you know, like Screen Gems, who was gonna do. No, I think Screen Gems did the Resident Evil movies,
it was and Constantine films as well.
Oh yeah, and then also, but Screen Gems was gonna do The Last of Us before it went over to HBO television.
Which I'm so glad, by the way.
Yeah, I am too. And but that's kind of the whole point. Is like when looking at this, you know, how they want to frame it. Like I thought Tom did a good job. I thought
okay, because some of the criticism is that he just looks like he's playing Spider-Man. Again.
Oh yeah, okay. Like I heard that a little bit in there, you know. But again, you know, being a quirky kind of guy is
Nathan Drake has like that's the whole thing with Spider-Man. They have the quirky back and forth dialogue. That's Nathan Drake too. It's like there's only so many ways you can play smart ass who talks back when he fights, you know.
Yeah, and then also it's a lot of like, you know, and that's why I think Nathan Fillion did a great job with that fan film from 2018. And I really love that fan film from 2018. And I think that should have been a movie as well. And maybe down the road we'll get Old Man Drake or something, and then that could be Nathan Fillion. Who knows?
I agree with Geeky Nerd though. I want to see Eddie Raja. I want to see how him and Nate first met and the history between those two. Please bring in Eddie Raja.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, they're gonna have to probably introduce him here if they're gonna go into Drake's Fortune.
You think this movie ends with him getting the call about the
come on. They're showing like they're already setting up. It's like, look, it's the you know, was it Magellan? Was it Magellan? Or who was
Magellan?
Whatever they're looking for in this one, you know, it's like, oh, it's a treasure worth $5 billion. Oh, okay. You know, they're not going to get it because that's how the stuff.
Supernatural element to this movie.
There's going to have to be. It's number 4 didn't have a supernatural element.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't do supernatural stuff.
Yeah, but the other 3 did. I mean, it's like, you know, you get like that's when you get to like the third act of the game where you get that twist, and the twist is, oh, they're Nazi zombies, you know,
or there's Yeti people.
Yeah, or they're everlasting Yeti people. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot there that's, you know, that number 4 was a good story.
Yeah,
but the gameplay was lacking.
Well, here's what I say: I like that in 4 there wasn't a supernatural twist because that subverted your expectations, but in a good way. It still made the game fun, though. It's like, oh, you're expecting there to be some like ghost pirates thing or something, but no, it's not. You know?
Yeah. No, you're right. I do like it though. I mean, I look at Uncharted here, and I think to myself, like, man, this is something that's it's got my hype.
Good time too, by the way. February, it's gonna have that slingshot effect with Spider-Man, which I think is like what they want.
Yeah.
It's like, you like Drake. Spider-Man? Go see Nathan Drake.
Yeah, basically. It's. I mean, that's what they're gonna do. There's gonna be. I mean, they're gonna be a big marketing push in front of Spider-Man for Drake, and people are gonna be going into Spider-Man going like, oh, I can't wait to see Tom Holland, and who knows, whoever else might be making an appearance in this movie. And then they're going to see a trailer, and it's going to be like, Tom Holland is Nathan Drake in Uncharted, February.
And then they're going to cast a sequel, then Zendaya will be Elena Fisher.
Shut the fuck up.
You know they do it, don't
Oh, I know they would do it. I know they would do it.
I don't think they will, though. It's too obvious.
They would do something like that. Oh, yeah, Yvonne here says that the prequel game was the Golden Abyss on the Vita. That was actually a really solid game.
Why haven't they ported that to modern consoles?
I don't know, RJ.
Play that, but it's because
the Vita. I mean,
the Vita
it's like
was a good console. It was a good console. Got it bad.
I know. They could. You know what? Like, I mean, Killzone Mercenary was a fantastic game. And now they're not. Guerrilla Games is no longer touching Killzone. They're done with Killzone. They've ended the franchise, which is unfortunate. They put out a statement like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, they did?
They literally put out a statement saying
I
like,
love Horizon. So
I do too, and I'm looking forward to that being the next movie that they make or whatever, because that's going to happen as well.
I think it's going to be Horizon and God of War.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
the rumors is that they want to make like a God of War movie or show based off the reboot from 2018.
I would say probably more of a movie would be good for God of War. Horizon could be a show.
How do you tell that story in just a movie though?
Yeah, you could summarize it pretty well.
Oh.
You could summarize it pretty
because I didn't mean to distract Matt. I understood what you were saying though, like a movie where it's like old man Drake with his daughter.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry. Okay. All right. Drake here says I could see an old man Nate movie with his daughter. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I would
like the next game though, not the next.
And I would also like there to be Caitlin Dever playing her, because I like Caitlin Dever. So, and I liked her. I like that little pop up she did in Uncharted 4. Weird to think that game is 5 years old. Really weird to think that game is 5.
I'm excited for the remaster on PlayStation 5. I feel like that they're gonna really do something good, cool with that.
Well, you know what's really funny is on PlayStation 4 for Uncharted they had that 3D audio.
Yeah, it's really good.
I actually bought the platinum headset, right? Or the whatever. Yeah, the platinum headset. I bought that for like almost 5 years ago now, just to have the 3D audio. And the sad thing is, and this is what Sony does, there wasn't really much of a market for it, so they just stopped. Like, you know, they did it for Uncharted. I think they've done it for like 2 other games, and that's it.
They've done the 3D audios on default for PS5. I think like every game has it, and it doesn't matter what headset you use, it implements some kind of 3D audio effect.
Oh, cool. So. I mean, like the headset's okay, but I use a much better headset now that I just sync to my TV, so it's fine.
Yeah, like I said. By the way, Antonio Banderas is the villain. I think it's great.
Oh, yeah. We got Mo Moon here says Uncharted 5, Jarbo's Boulder. Well, they could do something with Sisyphus. That'd be true.
Yeah, it'd be like in Uncharted 4 when you play the level where you run away from the boulder.
Or Resident Evil 5 where you punch a boulder.
Yes. Is there memes of that, by the way? There has to be.
Of me doing that? I don't think so. Maybe.
How has nobody done that?
I don't know.
Come on, trolls, get on it.
Yeah, let's see here. I know. I need to go piss off some more people. All right. Commander here says, I'm waiting for the Uncharted 4 on PC like God of War. I think that's going to come probably by the time the movie comes out.
Yeah, they said early next year.
Oh, okay.
PS5 and PC.
Yeah.
By the way, I was shocked that God of War has come to PC.
I'm not. The Sony is going to have to find a way to rival Microsoft on that Games Pass shit. You know? That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
They're making a lot of money on PC for sure, I imagine.
Oh yeah, well, I guess like the Games Pass is doing well, but it's like not doing as good as they want it to, meaning it's like not hitting its mark just yet.
Yeah, I think it's
so.
To like once they get the Bethesda stuff in there, like the new Bethesda games, I think that'll push it pretty hard.
Yeah, that's going to do pretty well. I think that's going to do pretty well. But all right, guys, it's almost midnight. I got to get to bed. Again, it's another day with all that. But I do appreciate RJ coming on by, having a good conversation as usual.
Yeah, no,
and thank you everybody for hanging out. I'll be back on probably tomorrow night, maybe a little bit later. We'll do a short call-in stream tomorrow night, and my voice should be better by then. I'll talk to everyone. Have yourself a great one, and peace out, guys.